Iran didn't just play at the 2026 World Cup, they changed it. What began as a tournament dream quickly turned into an extraordinary battle involving politics, travel restrictions, and conditions no other team had to endure, and in the end, FIFA had no choice but to respond. Here's the incredible story of how Iran forced a major World Cup change. The 2026 FIFA World Cup was supposed to be a celebration unlike anything football had ever seen. 48 nations, 3 host countries, millions of fans, a tournament designed to unite the world through the beautiful game. But behind the bright lights and packed stadiums, one team found itself fighting a battle that had nothing to do with football, a battle involving border crossings, political tensions, exhausting travel schedules, and circumstances no World Cup team has ever experienced before. Then something unexpected happened. After weeks of complaints and growing pressure, FIFA finally made a major change. The question is, did Iran force FIFA's hand? And what does this mean for the future of the World Cup? Let's break it down. For most national teams, preparing for a World Cup follows a familiar routine. Players arrive at their base camp, they train, they recover, they analyze opponents, and when match day arrives, they travel to the stadium under carefully planned conditions. Everything is designed to maximize performance. But Iran's experience looked completely different. Instead of being based entirely inside the United States like many other teams, Iran was forced into a much more complicated arrangement. Every trip to a match became an international journey. Every game required additional security procedures, immigration checks, and long periods of waiting. Imagine preparing for the biggest match of your career while also dealing with border procedures that other teams never have to think about. In elite football, even small disruptions matter. A delayed meal, a shorter sleep, an interrupted recovery session. These details can change everything. And for Iran, those disruptions became a regular part of their World Cup experience. Football at the highest level is all about preparation. Modern players don't simply train and play. Every hour of recovery is planned, nutrition is monitored, sleep schedules are controlled, recovery sessions are timed down to the minute. This is why national teams spend millions creating the perfect environment. But Iran's squad faced circumstances that repeatedly interrupted this process. Long travel periods reduced valuable recovery time, additional procedures created uncertainty, support staff also faced difficulties, making an already challenging tournament even more complicated. None of this appears in the statistics. The scoreboard doesn't show fatigue, the match report doesn't mention disrupted routines, but coaches and sports scientists know exactly how much these factors matter. Because winning at the World Cup isn't only about talent, it's about preparation, and preparation depends on stability, something Iran struggled to find. As the tournament continued, frustration inside Iran's camp became impossible to ignore. Officials began publicly expressing their concerns. Questions were raised about fairness. Should one team be required to operate under conditions completely different from every other nation? Should logistical challenges influence sporting competition? The Iranian Federation decided to act. A formal complaint was prepared. The message was clear. This wasn't simply about convenience. It was about competitive equality. Football is supposed to offer every qualified nation the opportunity to compete on equal terms. But according to Iranian officials, that principle had been compromised. The story quickly became one of the biggest off-field talking points of the tournament, because this was bigger than one match. It was bigger than one team. It raised difficult questions about how future World Cups should handle geopolitical realities. Then came the turning point. After weeks of criticism and growing international attention, FIFA approved a significant adjustment to Iran's arrangements. The change may seem simple, but for professional athletes, it changes everything. More time to prepare, more time to recover, more time to train, more time to sleep, more time to focus on football. For the first time since the tournament began, Iran would be operating under conditions that looked much closer to those experienced by other teams. It wasn't a complete solution. Many questions remained unanswered, but it was the first clear sign that pressure had produced results, and it sent a powerful message. Even at the biggest sporting event on earth, logistical issues cannot be ignored forever. This situation may eventually become one of the most important lessons of the 2026 World Cup. because future tournaments are becoming increasingly international, multiple host countries, multiple governments, different political relationships, different rules, different realities. Iran's experience exposed a challenge that FIFA may need to address before future tournaments begin. What happens when geopolitics collides with football? How do organizers guarantee equal treatment for every nation? And can a truly global tournament remain fair when international tensions enter the equation? These questions won't disappear when the final whistle blows. In many ways, this controversy may influence future World Cups long after 2026 is over. The 2026 World Cup was supposed to be remembered for incredible goals and unforgettable moments. Instead, one of its biggest stories has happened far away from the pitch. Iran arrived at the tournament facing extraordinary challenges. They complained, they pushed back, and eventually, FIFA made a change. Was it enough? Maybe not, but it proved something important. Sometimes, the biggest battles at the World Cup aren't played inside the stadium, they're fought behind the scenes, and this one may end up changing international football forever. What do you think? Did FIFA do enough for Iran, or was the team treated unfairly from the beginning? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into football's biggest stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos like this.